All right, now we're live, and it is the 200th show that I've hosted since May 29th, 2017, sort of a benchmark. So, welcome everybody. This is the Stunt Hangar video chat, and it is Monday, November 11th, 2019. What did I say my start date was? November, no, yeah, May 29th, 2017, if I got it wrong the first time. Looks like we got a couple of viewers already, and somehow Tom Rammel managed to post in the YouTube chat box before I knew I had the show open. I don't know if my camera was open, so I've apparently still got more to learn about this, but the links are in the usual places. I just posted the one in the At the Bench thread on the Stunt Hangar Control Line forums. And there's Tom. Hey, Tom, how are you doing tonight?
Hi, Rusty. Congratulations on your 200th show.
Yeah, thanks, man. I'm glad we made it this far. Now, just to get another 200 under my belt, and we'll be professionals by then. So I was just telling everybody the links are in the usual places. If you're a member of the Stunt Hangar Control Line forums, you can go to the main forum page where the open forum is and scroll down, look at all the forum names, and somewhere down there you'll see one called At the Bench. If you want to come join us live with your camera and microphone, that's where you'll find that. It'll be the newest post with today's date in the title. And if you have any, I put a little note in there because expect somebody who's never been here might try to come in tonight. And I added a little instructions that if that link doesn't get you in, to go to the Stunt Hangar YouTube page where the live stream is also being broadcast. And when you go there, you start the video and a chat box will open and you can ask us questions about how to enter if you have some kind of trouble. I did talk to Bob Hunt today. He's one of our former frequent guests, and he had to kind of bail out, or he felt like he needed to bail out due to glitches that we were having, technical difficulties. I think he was working with Apple computer back when we were on the old Hangouts software, and I'm thinking that this software will be a lot friendlier to people like that who might have bailed because they couldn't get in. So give us another try if you've been watching. If you've been watching from the shadows and want to give it another try, we've got a whole new system. It's with jitsi.org, JITSI, and it seems to be a lot friendlier to a whole different host of browsers, and you don't have to have Chrome, you don't have to have a special application or anything like that. So anyway, here we go. Show number 200, and I see Mike has joined us out there. Congratulations for the big number 200. Keep going strong. We will, Mike. Thanks. And yeah, I hope we get a good crowd in here tonight. Don't want to have a dull show for the big benchmark number. But that being said, I don't have anything special planned. I just thought I'd mention it, and hopefully we'll get enough guests in here to have some good conversation. We've had a pretty good string of good shows lately. So now that the weather's cold and everybody is trapped in their shop building airplanes rather than out having fun where they do all spring and summer, then that leaves people with nothing better to do than come join us and sit around and talk about airplanes. If you can't get your hands on them and fly them, you can sit around with us and talk. Just kind of like a bunch of guys sitting around at the field on their lawn chairs talking about how good they are at flying airplanes. That's what we do here. Planes, trains, and automobiles, whatever. And hey, there's Dennis Adamus, and hey, Denny, I hadn't seen you in a long time. Glad to have you back. Can you hear us and see us okay?
Hey, Rusty.
How you doing, man?
Hanging in there. Long time no see.
Good. Yeah, it has been a while. Glad to see you back. We've
Well,
had
what the heck? Number 200? I'm impressed.
Oh yeah,
I really am.
Pretty good. Yeah.
This is about number 9 for me or so. So yeah.
Yeah, you might have done more than that, but yeah, we always appreciate your company. You're a man of
Yeah.
many talents, and we need that kind of folks in here.
Yeah. Legend, regular legend in my own mind.
A few other
No,
a few
I
other
just
people
haven't
give
been
you credit
doing.
too.
Yeah, I really haven't been doing any modeling or anything like that, so I just haven't had anything to say. So thought I've just been meandering around doing other stuff. So how about you? How goes the recovery?
The recovery is going very well, thank you.
Yeah,
Um,
last time I saw you, you were a mess. If you'll pardon the expression, it was like right
I
after you had
I was,
had all
yeah,
your operations. So
I was neither mentally or physically fit for a good while there, but both of them are on track coming back, and I'm getting much more mobile now, although it's precarious. I don't want to have any setbacks. I don't want to fall down, something stupid like that could reset the whole thing. So I'm just being
yeah,
careful, and I'm working hard with my PT people, and by all accounts from my PT and my doctors, I'm coming along at an exceedingly impressive rate. So we'll take that. And hey, Jeff, how you doing? Jeff Riley just joined us. Glad to see you tonight.
Good. How you guys doing?
We're good. We're
good, good.
just hitting our groove. We only started a couple of minutes ago. And hey, Tom, I got a question for you. How did you manage to post a message in the chat box before I actually started the show?
I just got over on YouTube before you posted the link in at the bench.
Was my camera on?
No, the camera wasn't on, but the live link was.
Okay.
I just posted a live link.
Okay. I got to remember to um, think about that when I'm setting up. Oh, Kim, here comes Kim Stricker, one of my Cox Engine Forum buddies. Hey, Kim, welcome to the show. Welcome to the Nut House. Happy 200, Rusty. All right, man. Thanks, man.
Right on. Hopefully, we're all here for our 200 birthdays too.
Hey, this
There
is
you go.
turning into a regular party. And we got somebody named Fellow Jitster just joined. I bet that's somebody who came in for the first time and hadn't got their camera on yet. But Fellow Jitster, if you can hear me, look for the 3 dots down near the bottom right corner of your computer screen. If you're on a computer, click those. And at the very top of the stack of instructions, there's a place to post your name in case your name is Bob or Fred or anything like that. Then that way we'll know what to call you. I did talk to Bob Hunt today. He's one of our former regulars who kind of had to leave because of technical difficulties with his Apple computer system not not playing well with our software. But all of that software has changed now, so we got a system that seems to be working. Damn, Kim, did you straighten your workshop up?
No, I just turned the camera.
Ah, to the new corner.
Excellent.
That doesn't look too bad.
There's still debris in here, but it is better than it was. I can see my
Okay.
table. So,
Okay, we got somebody whose name, yeah, I bet that's Bob Hunt, who has not gotten his camera working yet. And
That's all right. If it's Hunt, he's got a face better seen on radio anyway. So
I won't comment on that because mine ain't much better.
Hey,
And
Russ,
what'd you say?
if Bob's working on an iPad, he could touch the screen and it'll give him the options to mute or unmute the mic or the camera without going into settings or anything like that.
I believe Bob's on a regular computer, but if you can hear us, Bob, try shutting down and re-entering. Sometimes that works. There he went. Technical problems seem to follow him around when he's trying to join up with us. So Hopefully we'll get him in without having to mess around too much. And I promised him we were better than we used to be at that. Because Kim, I think you had some trouble. Well, you
Oh,
didn't have bandwidth for a while there either, did you?
Well, I went from running on dial-up to a hotspot on my phone, and now I've got optic fiber, so it's like climbing out of the cave, you know?
Oh yeah, you're like on the Enterprise now. So.
Yeah, man. Yep, it's great.
All right. Bob still has a slash on that. What is that? Is that cameras off?
That means cameras off, and
Yeah.
going to see if I can see. Participant has stopped the camera, and Bob, on that on those three dots, there is a settings gear that pops up, and you can tell it what camera and microphone to use for your defaults. So, same place where you put your name in, click those same three dots and look for the gear, the settings, and let's see what all pops up there. That will be permission granted. Okay, camera, select a device, microphone, select a device, and that's probably where you'll be able to fix your audio and video. And so hopefully that helps. And don't worry, you're not the only one we've have to do this with. So I know you don't want to create a nuisance, so to speak. But that should be where you can get your mic and camera working again. I sure hope so. If it's not, we'll get together via telephone and figure it out. We'll do a private session one day. Let's see. It's already time to start throwing people out of here. Let's see. We got a remove. Let's see. Hide user. There we go. Okay. I already got trolls coming in the chat box.
Oh, no.
I took care of it.
Yep.
Let me call Bob on the telephone and see if he's having any luck there.
So Dennis, what are you working on?
Sparky just joined us. Let's see. Where is he? There he is. He'll be with us in a second. See if I can give some personalized help here. Well, it sounds like Bob's audio is working.
Hello there.
Hello?
Yeah, Rusty, it's me.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, actually, we can hear you on the show, but your camera's not working.
Okay, well, I turned down my. Yeah, how do I get the camera to work here? I don't know. I had to install Chrome here. They said I was not going to have a good experience with the browser I had, so maybe we can try this.
If you click those three dots that you clicked where you did it to put your name in.
Yeah, I did.
And
I did.
the settings gear, have you clicked on that yet? You see a gear and it says settings next to it.
Yeah, I tried that. It didn't work. It said I was going to have a bad experience with, with my.
Oh, it said that. Oh, for Pete's sake.
Okay, here we go.
Well, you can just talk to us without your camera, and that'll work fine if you want to. And maybe Sparky's got some ideas. He just joined us while I was calling you too.
Let's see here.
I'm gonna hang the phone up.
Okay, settings.
Okay.
Then
Listen to what Sparky's saying, and I'm gonna hang the phone up. Okay. Bye.
okay, Bob, can you hear me? Bob Hunt, can you hear me?
I think we lost Bob on the on his direct link, but he can probably still hear you if he's got the YouTube window open.
Okay. You go to settings, and then we're going to go to devices, camera, the top one, there's a drop down. Drop down and select one of those. And microphone, drop down and select one of those. And then hit OK.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell him to do. I don't think he's in here anymore. I think he backed out. He said he had tried to do that.
Did he call you or you called him?
I called him.
Now, wait a minute. I do see Bob's window showing up on my screen here.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah, I got it. I put it on. I toggled on the multi screen. So I think he
there
can
is.
probably
Yeah.
hear you.
Okay.
Okay, settings, devices, and then there's a top one is the drop down. Drop it down and select the camera, and then microphone, select the microphone, and the
It won't
audio.
let me.
It
It
won't
won't let me.
Go ahead.
It said permission not granted. It won't let me select a camera or a microphone.
Okay, now when you first start this program, it says that Jitsi needs to,
I did
authorize-
allow.
Pardon me?
I did hit allow.
You did hit allow audio and video, right?
As far as I know.
He's got audio.
Now you just installed Chrome, correct?
I tried to.
Oh, so you're not using Chrome right now?
No.
Okay. Does it work with something other than Chrome? I've never had any luck with Edge, but I never tried anything else.
I think it works with a lot of different browsers.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you what,
We
guys.
don't have to.
You're eating a lot of time up here on this, and I got to take my dog out anyway.
Okay.
I just wanted to continue on your 200th show, Rusty,
Oh, thanks.
and thanks for in.
Thanks, Bob. And
Yeah.
if you, when you get back from walking the dog, if you want to come in, we can have you without your face.
Oh man, there's a straight line in there somewhere. All right.
Yeah, if somebody doesn't help on that, I'll be upset.
All right.
All right, man. Thanks for coming and saying hi, though. Appreciate it.
See you later, big brother.
Okay, little brother. Bye bye now.
Yeah.
Oh well, I'm sorry that happened because that kind of stuff was plaguing him before when we were on the old hangout. But anyway, we got all y'all show developed in a pretty good hurry tonight. I even got a flashcard from Kim. So hey, thanks everybody.
Way to go, Kim. Good work.
It took me 10 minutes to make it, so we're going to look at it.
All right.
Kim's great. That's cool. Right before I came in tonight, I realized that I had missed a SpaceX launch earlier. This morning, they launched a Falcon 9 with 60 more of the Starlink satellites. And so I got a chance. I had just enough time to watch the whole launch and deployment of the satellites, and everything went well. They successfully landed the booster for the fourth time. That was the fourth time this one's been launched and landed on the ship in the ocean. And they, for the first time, used formerly used fairing on the payload. And I did not hear whether or not they caught it, or even if they tried to catch it. I don't know if they're planning on reusing them more than once or not, but anyway, everything went well, which that's good because SpaceX, if they can go catastrophe free for any length of time, it's a good thing. I've been keeping up with them closely, and I'm really looking forward to this Starship, and hope I live long enough to see it make good. I want to see a whole fleet of those things parked all over the solar system, refueling on the fly wherever they go. They can get methane and hydrogen. That's all they need to fly.
Kim, that Skylark Junior twin is looking good.
Thank you. it's holding Rusty's sign just fine here. So there you go.
Yeah, good job.
Oh,
But I
Get
finally, I'm trying to. Here's one of the little power plants I made up. It's a TD 020 with the new metal fuel tanks. I got them from Cox International, and I made up two, but this one has a silver tank, and I want it to match this one. So I ordered another tank that's red, so that I won't look too odd. So I worry about looking odd. So, but these are great little engines. They test ran them the other night, and I got to honestly can't remember how long they ran. I'm losing my ability to retain numbers, but they do run considerably longer, and with this bigger tank. Um, so that's what's going on, and I haven't done any balsa chopping, but I've been messing with the engines, and so that's what's
Have you
happening.
weighed it?
No, I'm gonna let that be a mystery up to the time I get ready to fly. These guys all weigh this stuff, and all it'll do is depress me. So,
that's
but
it.
no, I got a set of scales, but it won't really tell me. In my world, it won't really tell me anything until the thing is all up and ready to rock. And but I'm wanting to have it ready for the summer small, and I got several other projects I'd like to pull out of the cobwebs and have them done for small. Not to mention my navigator. Thank you, Tom. And I want to get it going this year. Uh,
Well,
but
don't let Sparky know you're not weighing it out every little piece you put on there. He'll
I
read you a
know,
riot act.
I know some of the guys on the forum, performance-wise, propellers, engines, and I'm just a redneck out in the bushes playing with toys, you know.
Yeah,
And
nah, it's going to be just fine.
I Yeah, it's going to fly just fine.
Yeah.
I'm not a competitor and don't pretend to be, but I do manage to have an awful lot of fun. So, but that's what's happening, and I got Rusty remembers her, but I'm involved with Beth again, this lady I've been seeing off and
Oh,
on for
cool.
5 years. So she's having her kitchen redone. So I've been spending a lot of time at Lowe's helping buy grout and some other crap. I don't know. I'm just the dumb labor. I don't like it when anybody asks my opinion. Just show me what to pick up and put in the van. I'll be a happy camper.
Yeah.
But that's what we did today. And right now we got a raging wind and ice storm outside the shop.
Oh my.
So, but that's what's happening. So
So you and Beth kind of get together until you get on each other's nerves the way you can't stand it. Then you break up a while.
that you just described it. That's the whole deal. And I'm set in my ways, and I'm extremely defensive of my freedom. and she's set in her way. She's really a wonderful lady. There's no doubt about it. We just sometimes we're so much alike. I think that's part of the problem, but you more or less wrapped it up. But she is an awful lot of fun to be with, even if I am pushing carts full of tile and grout and some other kind of stuff. I'm really pretty good natured. It just irritates me when I tell people up front that I don't know anything and they ask me questions anyway. So it's like, I want to carry a card like this, don't ask me these questions. Just show me where to put the stuff in the van and we'll go home. She's got some pretty good guys working on her kitchen. It was a major deal.
Isn't Missouri the show me state?
Yes. Yep. And that's, um, I'm kind of a transplant though. I grew up in Illinois, so I don't know if I'm a legal member of that elite club or not. But I love Missouri. My poor state of Illinois. I can't go back to Illinois, so I go over to visit. So to see my Uncle Wayne.
Oh, is that where
But
Uncle
that's
Wayne
what's
lives?
Yeah, he lives in a little town. It's a non-town. It's called Boaz, Boaz, and it's one of these little towns that just disappeared after the railroads quit running and stuff. And but he lives in this little house that his daughter helped him build. And next to that 150-year-old house that they lived in for a long time. But yeah, it's about a 60-mile run. I'm gonna go over this week and see him. But that's what's going on. That's the whole, just trying to get the mojo together to get this thing done and then have several more. I had so much fun at this fall small in October. I guess it's in October. I can't remember. I'm
That
tired.
sounds about right.
Yeah. But I had so much fun there with the guys. And I'm trying to I was going for numbers this past year because Tony wanted to set some kind of record for 049 type airplanes, in attendance. This next year, I'm just going to go. I'm going to have a few select nice radio control and then probably 3 control liners, and save me the trauma of loading them all up. I could spend a day and a half just loading, and which kind of wears you out a little bit. But it's a bunch of great guys. I highly recommend it for anybody that ever want to come just be around some really great and sometimes crazy people. So Kevin Wilfong, I think I pronounced his name right. He always shows up with his Cox free flight helicopters and his flying saucers. And Tony actually flies in from LA. He brings some airplanes with him, but he has a stash with Steve Staples that keeps him in Little Rock. So, and he's like a human otter. He plays the whole time he's there. He actually makes me tired. I get tired being around him because he makes me feel old.
Those flying saucers were a hoot to watch. I'd never seen one fly before. I've seen pictures of them in the box, but he actually plays with them.
Oh, so he gets some serious air with them, and and he's a free flighter, so he can kind of calculate which way it's going to drift. But and they're weird. Sometimes they kind of keep their gyroscopic stability coming down, and other times they just lose it, and it's just like a falling manhole cover or something. But and the little Cox skycopters can do that too. They'll get kind of cattywampus, and all of a sudden they'll take off. And I don't understand the physics of it, but the little things will take off like an attack helicopter going in a big circle, and they're hilarious to watch. But we did a little bit of control line on Sunday, and next year I want to try to do a little more control line, half A and then the 35 size too. That's my plan. I get really irritated with myself because I get tired and I want to get up and do things, but I don't seem to have the ability to do it.
Yeah, we're all kind of starting to get that a little bit these days.
Yeah. Well, I had so much fun when I came down to the contest with you and Mike Lonke. Where was that? That was
in Huntersville. Yeah.
Southern North Carolina.
That's right, near Charlotte.
Yeah, things like that. That stuff is just fantastic.
I was so glad you could come to that. That made it for me. That was great.
Yeah, that was
fun. Got a good picture of us. The Fun Brothers, I think, is the caption.
Yeah. And that was the truth. I was watching you guys fly. I hadn't seen half A combat before, and it's like it blew me away. It's like a bunch of guys with lightsabers out there. It wasn't even like they had an airplane, and I was impressed that they could even keep from totally bell cranking each other all the time. But man, those
they have
things
some pretty spectacular midair crashes. But yeah, it is. They can wrap those lines up and then fly back out of the tangles.
It's crazy. It's nutty. And I was watching the guys doing it, and they look kind of casual about it, where I'd be wound up like a cat. Of course, that's part of it, I guess. You got to have that personality to do it.
They're out there laughing and talking and eating each other to pieces.
Yeah, it really is. And it's just, it lets you know how far out of their league you are, because I do good to keep up. I've got this one little combat kitten with a Black Widow on it that I fly once in a while, and I do good to hang on to that thing, So one of those, what are they called, Profi engines or whatever?
Profi, yeah.
Yeah, that little combat engine that Mike had on on a combat plane.
Damn thing's turning about 35,000 RPMs.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm scared of them. It's like it's mean, and so, but I had a great time with you guys, and that was a
Good.
great
I'm
round
glad
trip.
you
Oh yeah.
Okay, hey Rusty, I can tell you now the reason I'm here is because Steve Hines sent me a text and said if I didn't show up, he was going to drive down and kick my ass. So hi, Stevie.
Hey,
did. Hey, Steve, for whatever reason, I'm glad it seemed to have worked.
I just
Yeah.
All
wanted,
right, Steve.
hey, I just wanted Rusty to know after 200 shows, we still actually like him.
There you go.
Oh, you didn't tell me we had to say that too.
Well,
It's not required.
happy.
Okay, well here's to you, pal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks,
really.
Hey, Rusty.
Glad y'all still see fit to hang out with me.
Yeah. Yeah,
Not really, but we come here just to,
So what you been up to, Dennis?
Absolutely nothing. That's why I haven't been here. I haven't done any modeling whatsoever. Workshops,
Neither have I.
whole basement semester. I got nothing going on. So it's like I'm going to show up and say hi. I got nothing going on.
Hey,
You
that's
guys,
all right.
you guys
I
are
don't either.
all living the good life and doing good stuff. I've seen lots of great projects there. And heck, Sparky is too busy to even talk to us right now. So that Tucker's really looking good.
He's working hard over there.
Yeah. So I don't know. Looks like Trian's probably taking a break between coats of epoxy or something like that. He's got 6 more airplanes laid up in the back or something like that. But
not really.
no.
I wish it was, but I'm more recently I'm taking on Arduino microprocessors.
Oh boy.
So just I think I'm going to have a couple of little projects. One of them is going to be like an accelerometer timer. Then I want to make a custom accelerometer for myself.
I've been working on my daughter's PC, trying not to make it an accelerometer. That is, I didn't want to take it and throw it across the room. But but I got it so far. I'm winning.
Nice.
So-
Nice. Yeah, Joe, I'd be very interested to see how did you do your counter rotating props, the hub in particular.
Yeah.
So, have you heard anything about John, how he's doing?
I talked to Sandy last week, a week before last, and tried texting John and whatever. I haven't been able to get to him directly. But frankly, the last word I heard on him really wasn't good. He was, they're trying to get him in for that surgery he was going to get on his throat. And he was considered such a high risk that one doctor would refuse to do it. And other doctor said he would do it if he got to a certain, criteria level. And at the time he was still suffering from, loss, his weight was really light and everything like that. So they're trying to fatten him up. And
We're talking about John Brodak?
Yeah, John Brodak. And if he couldn't get it done by a certain amount of time, he was going to have to start another round of chemo and radiation. So,
Oh crap.
So he's not out of the woods by any means, and so he's still got his hands full. I mean, the same old thing. Those of us who believe in the power of prayer and everything like that, keep it coming. He needs all the help he can get right now, and but I don't know. He's promised to run 2 more fly-ins, and I think that's got to be something that'll be keeping him going too. And you know how much he lives for this, how much fun he has at the fly-in and stuff. Any of you who haven't been there and stuff, that's something you really ought to try to make the next couple of years while he's still doing it. So I don't know.
Maybe
At any rate, it's I wish I had something nicer to say, but he's just really up against it. His health issues aren't really. He's still in the woods. He's still got to get out of that. So
my
a
father
little bit
had
of good news with Dick. his cancer had not metastasized. He's got 2 separate kinds of cancer in his liver and his colon, but they thought it had moved through his body.
Mhm.
But
But they're separate.
it's not in his lymph nodes and stuff like that. So,
Oh boy. Who was that again?
Dick
I think-
Imhoff?
Dick Imhoff?
Yeah.
Oh my! I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah, he waited till after the Nats and never can get the Christian Modeler deal done. Then he
That's
went
the
in.
end. Yeah.
But
Oh, at least he had his priorities right there, huh?
yeah.
So, yeah.
So he had his first round of chemo, and they want to take care of the colon cancer first. It's
Mhm.
not that advanced. And then they said the liver cancer they'll treat later because it's in the bottom part of the liver, and I guess they can cut away about half of your liver and still. So I'm not quite as worried about the liver cancer.
Mhm.
So
Hey, John Miller, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay. How about you guys?
We're doing pretty good.
Well, hello, Santa Claus. Oh,
You guys being good?
yeah, we're
Yeah,
hanging in there, John. Good to see
yeah,
you
we
again.
got a pretty good show going tonight.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about Imhoff.
Yeah.
yeah, but
Steve, Joe, I'm gonna put something here now in the comments for you guys. It's my father had cancer too, and his wife put him on a very natural treatment. Good food, good everything, and he basically recovered. What took him out is the radiation treatment, that because he had a infection over there and they couldn't stop it, and it was directly related to that. Other than that, he was fine. So that's all I have to say about that. And I've heard good stuff about this place here. So yeah, I'll leave it to that.
Gerald Wimmer just checked in from New Zealand and gave us a super chat and says hi, everybody. Says hello, Rusty, Steve, Sparky, Jeff, Dennis, Tom, Kim, John, and all those on Stunt Hangar.
Hey.
Back at you, Gerald. Thanks for the super chat.
yeah, Gerald, don't be so stingy with your airplanes when it comes to your sister.
Yeah, thanks for introducing her to us, though. Oh, he just came in live, too, somewhere. I wish I could see everybody in the stack when they come in live. I have to hunt for them. There he is, Big T.
Sparky, I was watching your videos and I was looking at the cowl that you're making right now. And I was thinking, if you don't bring the slot all the way to the back, doesn't oil accumulate in that little space over there? Or you never have any issues with that?
I don't know if he can hear you or not.
I got his plane clicked up, though. Let's see what you're talking about.
I don't have any problems with that. I turned the mic off because I was sanding.
Okay. Yeah, I was asking about the cowl that you're making right now, and I was looking at the hole, the air hole on the very, very back side where you have your screw. It seems like there is a point where oil can accumulate in that little space over there. You don't?
No, I never had a problem with it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was just wondering. It looks good, man. You're making good progress. Making good progress at it, moving fast and cool.
I don't know, Sparky. You get yourself back into outrunners. You don't have to worry about the oil with those either. So
yeah,
Yeah.
I think Sparky should build more planes. You know, he's not just kind of slow over there.
Mm.
Yeah, I need to build some more.
Yeah.
I have room.
Stop slacking over there, mister. Yes.
Hey, Sparky, how many times can you put that on and take it off before you wear it out?
I've had it on and off for over 100 times probably already.
That's how you get the fit
It's already
right.
broken in. Oh.
It'll be just like plastic when it's done. See how nice it is inside?
Oh, it's
Mhm.
gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Yeah, makes me sick. I couldn't tell. Did you have plywood facings on there too, or
Not yet.
Yeah.
But
okay?
not yet, but it will.
Okay.
What's a plywood pasting?
It all gets covered with 64th plywood to harden up the edge around the edge.
Are you gonna put a box underneath the fuel tank to close the box, make it more rigid, or just let it go?
Nope.
So then, once you add that 64th plywood, what you got to sand everything back out so it fits again.
Well,
There's no knots.
yes and no. I have to take a 32nd of an inch off of everything in order to get 2 64ths in there. So.
Which begs the question: why not doing it from the get-go?
I should have, but I didn't. Because I was doing a video. If I was doing a video, I would have done it from the get.
I was wondering about this. So, in another words, just a brain fart.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
Now, do you got to put the same thing on the cowl too? Do you put it on both sides or just one?
Yep, both sides. What I'll do is the easiest is to cover the cowl 64th ply and then take a 32nd of an inch off of this end.
Oh, okay. Hey, there's Gerald. Oh, he's frozen.
Yeah. I was just clicking up there to see what that was. Just a screen shared picture. I got it on Sparky right now.
Yeah, one of these days, Dennis, I'll send you a drawing of that front end of that Usama.
Oh, that's right. We talked about that way back when. So
Yeah.
And one of these days, I'll get finished with the Bearcat conversion I've been working on since August. So.
Well, as cold as it's getting up here, we shouldn't have any excuses of working on airplanes. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
Ain't nothing going on outside.
We just had our first snowfall today, so
It's snowing outside right now here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, 8 degrees in Minnesota.
Yeah, you can keep that.
17 Georgia. Beautiful day.
Yeah, I talked to a friend of mine in Florida. So she goes, "Damn, I wish it cooled down here." She goes, "It was 88 today."
Oh wow!
I'm like, holy shit!
And then they go, eat your heart out.
Yeah. Well, she's from Michigan, and she just called just to rub it in, I guess. But
of course, that's what we do.
Obviously not acclimated to warm weather yet.
That's exactly why we are doing it. What do you think?
No.
But yeah, they just got done plowing our street, so we're getting it pretty good. We were only supposed to get 1 to 2 inches, and hell, we had that by noon today. So,
But you know what we are not telling you? We are not telling you that tomorrow here is going to be pretty cold too. So, but today is beautiful, so I have to rub it
Yeah,
in.
it's
Because
supposed to.
tomorrow I can't do it no more.
Tomorrow.
Well, you know, we like to share here in the north, so I figured we'd share that with you.
Yeah. Keep your damn thing over there. Actually, you know, in all reality, even if it was nice outside, I wouldn't have any time for that if I wanted to. So that's that.
Yeah. I had a lot more yard work to do, but I guess it'll get done. And the same thing happened last year, where it just got cold and snowed so soon that, I mean, not even all the leaves are off the trees yet. So we got leaves falling in with the snow, and we need another couple of weeks. And you know, usually Thanksgiving, because we get the Friday off after, because everyone goes shopping. But I just stay home and get leaves up and stuff like that. You know, it's still warm enough to do that kind of stuff. But 2 years in a row now, ain't gonna happen.
Hey, Pat Kennedy just came in and said hi to us. He's our plastic model builder. He's got thousands of plastic models. Beautiful, beautiful work. And hadn't seen you lately, Pat. What you been up to over on YouTube? He hadn't come in live with us yet.
Where's he from, Rusty?
I don't remember. Pat, tell us where you're from. We can't remember. I just typed you a hi Pat message. Come in live with us if you can.
Yeah, we still have one hobby shop here, Ryder's Hobby Shop, and they have a plastic model contest every year. And it's just hard to believe how nice some of that stuff is.
It is.
From airplanes to cars to boats. Just, you know.
Yeah, Pat's done a show and tell for us before with some really nice stuff.
Yeah, I was up there a couple months ago, and they still had one of the winners in there.
Oh, Pat's from near Pontiac, Michigan. He said they got about 9 inches of snow there.
Oh, okay. Ask him if, well, if he can hear me. Does he do the Ryder model building thing? Because Ryder's Hobby Shop is all over Michigan. I think they have one in Pontiac, or did.
He'll know what you're talking about, I'm sure.
Yeah, someone made a Chris Craft boat. I don't know if it was scratch built or whatever, but man, was that cool.
My boss had a beautiful Chris Craft real boat. We went riding on Lake Murray with it. We had to come back though because it was leaking, and he was trying to plug the leak while we were out in the middle of the lake.
Yeah, Chris Craft,
300 feet deep in some places too.
Yeah, Chris Craft was made about 30 miles from where I grew up in Holland, Michigan, right along Lake Michigan there.
I think my boss's boat was made out of mahogany. Does that sound right?
Yeah, they used beautiful wood. Had teak and mahogany and stuff like that. I mean, Chris Craft was top of the line builder.
Pat says that store you're talking about moved away, but they still have a store in Flint.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's all we got left here in Grand Rapids now. It's just the one hobby shop, so.
Anybody got a show and tell for us tonight?
Dennis, I got him to come on, so that's my show and tell.
Okay.
That's it.
I'll give you a reluctant star for that, Steve.
Yeah, he, like I said, he's I told you, but he warned me if I didn't show up. So
I know it. I told him if he didn't get on here so I could see him, I'd come to his house. And so you see he showed up.
that's it.
Keep him out of Indiana.
Yeah. I don't know, Steve. It seems like I have sort of checked in a little bit. I mean, when I've been aware that things are going on and haven't hung around or anything like that. But it seems to me every time you show up, you got another airplane in the background there too. So
I collect them
it looks like it.
because
You had a couple of
Sam Lonke right now.
vectors there for a long time. Now you got an Oriental back there and whatever. So
He's building one for Sam Lonke right now, I think.
yeah, that Oriental.
oh really? Okay, good.
That's the airplane he picked. So I was going to build one. Well, then John Paris, that was I'm trying to think of his daughter's name now. Grayson airplane. Yeah. So he gave that to me. That's a Brodak art.
Mm-hmm.
And he got that far done. It's all built and everything. So he gave that to me, and I'm going to put a Brodak 40 in it. So it'll be a complete airplane for Sam. I'll put tank and all that kind of stuff. And he can fly it in classic. He can't fly it at the Nats, but he can fly in classic at the Nats and stuff. So
flying junior and whatever like that, he'll be all right flying it.
He can fly it in N30. It's not old enough for classic. Classic is 1969.
No kidding. Well, they must have been nice to Samantha because they let her fly her Oriental.
Oriental is I think, yeah, D. Rice designed the Oriental. I think it's pre-1969. I thought you were talking about a Vector or something.
Oh, no, the Oriental. So, yeah. So that's like I told him. I said, you can fly it at Brodak and other contests and classic and give him another thing to fly in.
Oh, it's actually a good enough flying airplane. He could fly it, in all class. He'd do just fine flying it and everything. So that airplane's not going to hold him back. So
I have an Oriental story. I was at the Nats, I think in 2000 or so, and we had like a torrential rain outside. And just before the rain broke off, I was just like, hey, I'm going to go out and do some flying. So I have an Oriental profile with a 40 FP on it, and I launched, and the motor just kind of came off, just very, very slow. I was just doing 6-second lap time or something like that. And it pulled through everything. I flew the whole program at 6-second lap time. But I think the dense air helped me out. Because if it wasn't for that, I don't think it would just have stayed over there. I was just kind of tippy-toeing on, just like right on the edge, on the verge of just losing it.
So was that an ESC or a timer problem?
A little of both. He didn't have either, so the problem was with both.
Mike can fly at 7-second lap, so an Oriental ought to be able to fly at a 7-second lap. You ever seen Mike fly his airplane? Unbelievable.
That was like John DeTavio. He always flew like a 6-second lap. It was like you think the airplane would have fell out of the air.
Watch Mike McHenry. He can fly over 6-second lap.
Okay.
That big airplane will turn up. God, it's not going to go over the top, but it's got a 75 in it. That Crusader.
Yeah, that's what John DeTavio had in that Blue Max. That was just painted white. That's what Bishop just put. And then just come up, and it's like, that damn thing's going to fall out of the air. But he said he had to fly slower lap times because his reflexes weren't as fast at 90 years old.
Yeah, imagine that. What an excuse, huh?
Yeah.
Flying into his 80s. So. Actually, you know Wesley, right? Wes Dick.
Yeah.
And he always surprises me. Is he wants to fly around 5 seconds, and if he flies 5.2 or so, that's too slow. I got to go faster, man. And he just likes going as fast as he can. And so I keep waiting for him to slow down, but he ain't going to. So.
How old is Wes now?
Oh man, 86. 86, maybe 87 coming up in 2020. I'm not sure.
Wow.
He's
Yeah,
getting there.
my aunt just turned 99 and a half.
Wow.
So, but she's not doing so good now. She won't. She's got some kind of leukemia and wouldn't get. She didn't want any treatment for it. They said that they could pretty much take care of it. She's like, no, I've lived so long. She won't take anything but Tylenol.
Mm.
But yeah, she's starting to get a little bit of dementia and stuff. But
That's too bad. But on the other hand, 99 and a half, that's just cruising along just fine. So.
Well, about 4 years ago, my cousin goes over. He's trying to call his mom. Didn't get any answer and stuff. So he goes over and checks on her, knocks on the door. She doesn't come to the door. So he unlocks the door, goes in and starts yelling. And he could hear her, but it was really faint. He couldn't figure out where it's coming from. So he's looking through the house, downstairs, all that kind of stuff. Happens to look in the bedroom and catches a ladder in the closet. And he's like, you got to be shitting me. Well, there's a scuttle hole to the attic. She went up in the attic to make sure that her roof wasn't sagging or anything because there was snow on it. And the damn door fell and shut down, and she couldn't get it open.
Oh my.
So she was up there for like 3.5 hours, and it's, I don't know, 20 degrees. She has no coat on, nothing like that.
Jeez.
So he got her out of there and stuff. But she did that because the year before, when she's 95 years old, the neighbor calls Bob and says, Bob, your mom's on the roof again.
Damn.
She's up shoveling her roof at 95 years old. So she promised him that she wouldn't get on the roof again. So then she went up and looked to make sure nothing was sagging.
Spunky old gal, ain't she?
Up until this year, she did. Well, last winter she stopped snow blowing her driveway. She's had a garden ever since I can remember. And this summer it was the first time that she didn't have a garden in. And I mean, it was a big garden, and she hoed it, turned it over with a shovel and everything, did it the old way. Had a beautiful garden.
Well, guys, I gotta go.
All right. Take it easy, Sparky.
All right, Sparky, we enjoyed watching you work there for a while.
Yeah.
Good night, Sparky.
Good
Good
night.
night, Sparky. You take
night.
care.
Take it easy,
Take it easy,
man.
man.
Hey, Denny. Denny, I got a question for you.
Yeah. Did you say Danny? Yeah. Okay.
Was it you that was working with the electronics for Broduck?
Yeah, I've been doing his power systems and everything. So you
Yeah,
got a question about?
Well, yeah, you sent me an email a year or two back about that little German twin, and you were concerned about the thrust lines on it. I wonder if you ever got the electronics worked out, and I'm
You know, that kind of got pushed aside, and I haven't been working on it. But yeah, I was going to redesign in the cells. After talking to Hunt a little bit, it sounded like he needed to. I was going to redesign them so that the thrust lines were on the center, on the wing, centered on the wing.
Right.
And just tweak this and that. And I had the basic layouts done and everything like that. Hardware, power system wise, it pretty much figured out what I wanted. And actually, since then, I've seen some really good luck with slightly smaller stuff. So the power system wasn't going to be the problem, but I just haven't never finished it off. So.
Well, the reason I ask is that I have the original that I was flying with the thrust line where it's at. And of course, I had a problem. A flap horn came unsoldered, and I put the plane in, but didn't damage it really bad. It's repairable. I was going to put it back together, and I wanted to find out about the electronics that you might have worked out. See if I could use them on the rebuild.
Oh, you think about converting it?
Yeah.
Ah, super. Well, I think the best way to go, talk to Will Huben, get one of his FM9s that are made for twins. You can have them so that they will, control both motors, and then probably use. Did you use 8? You had 15s on that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What size? Did you use 8-inch or 9-inch props?
I used 9-inch props.
Okay. Okay, you could probably use the smaller motors. I was thinking about going to 8-inch only because just lately and the last couple of years or so, I have become really, really a big fan of using smaller diameter props. Not over propping things. I was thinking, the Twin is not a big airplane, and I was thinking 8-inch props might be the way to go on it. And frankly, I never had a 15 that would turn a 9-inch prop either. And I know you had you had them screaming there, right? Yeah, I mean, you had that on your Pathfinder Twin too, didn't you? Did you have 15s on that?
Yeah, I had LAs on that. This would have had those little magnums.
Yeah. So. Yeah, the only thing I had in mind from talking to Hunt is we thought that centering the thrust line was a good idea. I forget. I think you put the thrust line below. Does that sound right? And I think you were looking for fuel tank clearance or something like that. But
exactly. Yeah, they were about quarter inch below.
Yeah, and then I think I was having some issues trying to figure out exactly what to do with the battery pack. So I didn't know whether to go with two separate packs, but it was hard to get those in a good location without chopping up the wing. And then even a single pack in the center was kind of rugged because there's no nose on the fuselage or on the center fuselage, so it would be just a bit of a challenge getting a single pack in the middle of the wing, accessible, still hidden, all that kind of stuff. So I know I was looking at it both ways and hadn't really come to a single plan on that. So
I've been doing some thinking on it too, thinking that I might do the extend the nose a little bit on the front, just similar to what they did on the Grumman.
Yep, the XP50, the Army version. Yeah.
And also making the fuselage a little deeper, so there's a little room between the bottom of the wing and the bottom of the fuselage for trying to get some battery packs in there.
Yeah. So the packs are heavy enough, or you just want to make sure that you can get them pretty close to the center of the wing, so the vertical CG doesn't go crazy. So.
Well, I'll drop you an email or something, talk to you some more about it, but I want to make sure that I wasn't going the wrong way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's too bad I don't have it finished, but I wanted to let you know too. I had a conversion. It's available through Rodak now. I made a conversion for Little Ellie.
Oh, you finally got that done?
Well, I got the conversion, and the airplane's still framed up, halfway like it was for the when I wrote the manual, but I haven't finished it. But I don't think John knew about that. That's all. That's his baby. So. My plan is my granddaughter's name is Eleanor. So Little Ellie was going to become Miss Ellie. I was going to take a little license with the name there and trying to figure out how to make a decal with her picture and all that. So.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. And of course, I was going to make it in pink just because. So.
Yeah, gotta be pink.
That's it.
The kit I have the kit I have that has in the manual, it's kind of went the wrong way on building the wing. Did you correct that? It's supposed to be built like
Yes, I basically built it like an I-beam, the way it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
and I looked at that. And I cannot comprehend why he built it that way, or what he was thinking. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, you've rewritten that. I take it. It's Dave Gerke's wing design, is what it is.
Yeah, I know. It looks like a novi that got left out in the heat cycle a little long. It shrunk a little bit, but yeah, I mean, you look at the plan for him, it just screams novi, doesn't it? So
yeah.
In fact, I had entertained thoughts about taking it a little bit farther and making the fuselage look like a novi too, just to really mess with people's heads, you know. They'd look at that. God, I thought the Novi was bigger than that, you know, or whatever.
Was that named after Novi, Michigan, or?
Well, Novi or the All-American Eagle are both very similar. You know, the Novi had a different canopy on it. And they are otherwise
different shape.
Yeah.
I just wondered if he was, if he came from Novi here in Michigan.
It was well, Dave was from New York. But he, in his article on the Novi, the way he picked the name, he talked about about Novi being number 6, train station number 6, which is how Novi, Michigan got its name, and how Andy Granatelli got, picked on the Novi name and everything like that. It was all interrelated. So yeah, it was not, he wasn't from Michigan, but he had the same source material, if you will, for how number 6 became Novi. And in that case, back in the early '60s, Andy Granatelli and his Novi engines were qualifying monsters at Indy every year.
Yeah,
they go out, set all the qualifying records, and then they blow up within the first 50 laps and never finish a race. They're fast as hell while they were going. So
yeah, I just figured, I didn't know how. Like Andy got his name. I just figured maybe that was some shop in Novi, Michigan or something where they came up with a Novi motors or whatever, because Indy's fairly close, but.
I guess it was train station. There was a train siding or train station or something. It wasn't even by a town. It was just NO6, Roman numeral 6, number 6. And that ended up being shortened into Novi. And somewhere along the line, that train station turned into a town or something like that. I don't know.
That's
He explained it in the original Novi article. He gave the background on that. So I haven't heard an alternative. His story's as good as any I've ever heard. So all right.
Okay.
Besides, it was a lot easier to call it Novi than it would have been to call it Offenhauser. So.
Yeah, really. Easier to spell too, huh?
Yeah, really.
I had an Offenhauser dual quad tunnel ram one time in my Chevy 350, but I never used it. I ended up giving that thing away or selling it really cheap, one or the other.
Yeah, I had a buddy that had an Offenhauser that came way the hell up and had like a box and 2 damn.
Yeah, mine was about that tall.
Yeah, the damn carburetor stuck up out of the hood.
If you fill that thing up with gas fumes and backfire it, that'd be like a dynamite bomb going up into the hood.
Yeah,
I was scared of the damn thing. I wasn't about to mount it on my engine.
Yeah, I had a friend that put it on there, but yeah, I remember the tunnel rams. Man, look how long them are. These son of a bitches came up 6 inches, then it had the damn 6-inch box that set on that damn thing, and it was a foot tall coming up out of the hood.
At least, yeah.
I had a tunnel ram on my Camaro, and I almost ran over a pedestrian because I couldn't see him coming off the curb.
Oh, I laughed, but that's not actually funny.
No, It wasn't back then. It is now because I didn't hit him, but it was scared the shit out of me.
Yeah. And my buddies with their 396s and all the different intakes and everything else for them back when I was a kid.
And mine was a small 400 with two 850s on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had a 396 in my 69 Chevelle SS. That
That's
was a badass engine.
That is.
And now I've reached a point where my last two cars combined had a total of 8 cylinders. So,
Well, I'm there now too. Yeah. Actually, what I'm driving now is a V6 with almost 300 horsepower in my Hyundai Santa Fe.
That's pretty awesome.
That's pretty damn amazing that they get that kind of horsepower out of a 6-cylinder nowadays.
Well, what about that Honda? What's the small Honda?
Civic.
Yeah, the Honda Civic SI or whatever. That's 300.
New one. That's a cool looking car.
It did the fastest lap time of any front wheel drive at the Nürburgring.
Really?
Crazy how fast it was around there. Yeah, because it has a damn electronic suspension deal and stuff, and yeah, they can click it into racing mode. And
yeah, that's a lot of car in a little package.
Yep.
Well, when I was down there in North Carolina, we just had left out of the flying field. There was a railroad tracks there and stuff, and a light.
Yeah.
And this truck was cutting in and out of traffic and came up alongside that little Honda Civic, and I was behind it. It's a Honda Civic. And he was going to try to go by her and jump in front of her. She nailed that thing and just left that truck like it was standing still. I was like, holy shit. What the hell kind of Honda Civic is that, you know? Then I found out later that I had 325 horsepower, 24. Yeah. That thing just lit up the tires and it was gone. It was like, wow.
It's an odd looking car, but yeah, they make some serious power. I was behind one at the drive-through at Chick-fil-A the other day and got a good look at it. It's a badass little machine.
Yeah.
Well, Honda McLaren's trying to break into NASCAR for next season.
Who is?
Honda McLaren, the Indy team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're talking about joining NASCAR. They're supposed to have a car that's eligible for NASCAR.
Yeah, you got to have a certain amount of production cars sold to the general public in order to qualify for NASCAR, don't you?
Not anymore.
It's got to be a full-size V8 rear-wheel drive sedan. Other than that, it's all up in the air.
Well, the Toyota motor is an old Dodge motor. They bought the rights to that Dodge motor because Toyota doesn't make a pushrod motor except for NASCAR.
That's the only one they make.
Yeah,
and that's the old Dodge. I think it's modeled after the 340, but it's quite refined.
Yeah, so Honda will probably buy a V8 from, what'd you say it was, Offenhauser, or who's gonna win with them? Look,
McLaren.
McLaren. Yeah, McLaren probably has an old pushrod V8 from the 60s or 70s or something.
No, they'll buy. They're looking into buying a Chevy and then reproduce.
Oh, an old Chevy model motor.
Ford and Chevy are almost exactly the same if you take them apart. The distributor's in the front of a Ford and in the back of a Chevy. That's about the only difference.
Yeah, that's why I was about to say Ford just puts the distributor in the wrong place.
But Ford grease burns hands.
Yeah, maybe they can buy an AMC motor or something like that from back then and redo it.
Well, if you look at all the drag racers, they're all using Keith Blacks. They're all modeled after the big block Chevy.
Yeah.
And with Chrysler Hemi heads on it. All the Keith Blacks are the same thing. So, you know, it's a matter, all the NASCAR motors all come out of the same factory. The only thing that makes it a Ford or a Chevy or a Toyota is the emblem you stick on it.
That and the front cowl is a little bit different. Looks of it.
Yeah, the body does have a little bit of a different shape to it, but they're all the same. They all follow the same templates. It's kind of hard to tell them apart when they're running around there in a circle and let you know the paint jobs and the numbers.
Yeah, a buddy of mine had a Keith Black 454 and its drag boat. Talk about something that was fast. Holy cow.
That's a lot of horsepower right there. You remember Mike Cole? A guy named Mike Cole from, I think he was from, where the hell was he from? I think he was from Kansas. And he made the original rat motor.
That was a 427, right?
It was a 454 LS7. It was a big block Chevy, but it was the original rat.
Oh, I thought the original rat was a 427, but I could be wrong.
The 427 made a lot of the rats out of 427s, but the original was a 454 LS7 block. And then the 427 ended up making a lot more RPM and a lot more horsepower, and they lasted longer.
Yeah, it was a shorter stroke, wasn't it?
Yeah, the 454 had like a 12-foot stroke on it. The thing was huge.
What was an Oldsmobile back in the day in the like 62, 63? It was kind of like a Nova or something like that.
444.
Oldsmobile?
Yeah, it had a weird name.
We made an Apollo for a while. I think that was in the 80s, 70s and 80s though.
Now this was about a 62 or a 63. And this guy here named Norm Beerhorst, it looked like a grandma car. Had hubcaps and stuff on it, and he had a 427 in that thing. And talk
like
about
a Nova?
Huh?
It looked like a Nova?
Yeah, it was like the first generation Nova. But this was an Oldsmobile.
Buick would have been the Skylark. Oldsmobile might have been the Cutlass, but I think that was a Chevelle.
Yeah, Cutlass was a Chevelle. This was the first.
That would have been if it was a Nova series. Didn't they make the Omega?
Omega.
That would be.
Yeah, because the Nova, if you took the Nova, there was the Nova, O was the Omega, V was a Ventura from Pontiac, and A was the, was that the Apollo, I think, from Buick? But the letters Nova spelled out the
Aspen one.
Yep, that's what it was. And it had chrome on the top of the fenders and stuff. I mean, it was just a small car that was more classy than a Nova or whatever. It had all the chrome and stuff on it. And he'd go around with that thing. It had a real quiet exhaust, but it was just deadly when he drag raced somebody. It was crazy how fast that little teeny car would go with a 427 in it.
Yeah, the Nova's never sold good with the Hispanic communities because Nova means won't go.
Yeah.
I don't know, rarest car I've ever heard of. And I saw it on a YouTube video. There was somebody had a regular production Ford Country Squire station wagon. You know, the big Ford wagon, wood on the side and everything like that.
Yeah.
It had a 427 and a 4-speed in the station wagon.
Yeah,
They're actually able to trace the records. They made exactly one.
Yeah,
this guy
back
had
in the
it.
good old days when you could order stuff the way you wanted. Yeah, that guy ordered that.
yeah, somebody ordered it that way, and of course, nobody who bought station wagons, bought 4-speeds, and not many of them bought great big motors, and maybe if they're hauling a trailer or something like that. But this thing was basically a station wagon race car with the 4-speed and everything like that. And somebody had the presence of mind to keep the darn thing, or keep it in good shape and everything like that. But I thought that was pretty special. The fact that it was regular production, and he could prove that there was exactly one made. So
that's
Wow.
pretty cool.
yeah.
I bet the damn thing weighed 4,000 pounds.
Well, that's it. It was a 4,000-pound family, 9-passenger or whatever.
Yeah.
And with the big motor and all that, and, the 4-speed with the column, or with the console in the center and everything, which you wouldn't see in a station wagon. They always had big bench seats and everything. So whatever. Not a race car, at least not what you think of a race car, but boy, it was unusual. So.
Well, yeah, when I delivered papers, we had a guy that had a Galaxy 500. I think it was a 69.
Oh, I love that model.
Yeah.
And he special ordered it. This thing had power seats, all that kind of stuff. But it had a 4-speed 427 side oiler in it he ordered. Talk about something that went. And I always wanted to buy it. And I told him, I said, when you get ready to sell, I want to buy it. So I'm going to start saving my money for it. But he sold it before I was 18, and my dad wouldn't let me have it.
Smart dad.
I once had a nice car. It was a 74 Buick Regal with a 455 in it. I used to say it passed everything but a gas station.
That's it. I'll bet.
Was it the Hearst edition with the Hearst shifter in it?
No, it was. It had an automatic in it, and it was on the. If I remember correctly, it was on the column. It was black and chrome. Everything inside was black leather or chrome, and all the outside was the black with the chrome hubcaps and the chrome accents on it. It was a nice car. I love driving it.
We have a new person joining our. Oh, that's Pat. That must be Pat Kennedy that just joined us.
Yeah, my brother. I couldn't get that one. My brother found a 69 or a 70. I don't exactly what. Boss Mustang with the Hemi in it that they ran in NASCAR. And my dad wouldn't let him buy it. So about 3 months later, he bought his Oldsmobile 442 when he turned 18. Well, he still has his Olds. He's got 29,000 miles on it. That thing just sold for $500,000. One like it for $500,000 on Barrett Jackson.
Y'all check out the screen share. See what? Pick it up again, Pat. It's too bright down there where your car is sitting.
Let's fly in my Chaparral.
All right.
Now wait a minute. They put the wing on that so it wouldn't fly. So.
Hey, when I was in SWAT cars, my buddy had a Chaparral Renali.
I've been building a bunch of models that my dad built, and he, for some reason, painted it like aqua, and I always wanted the real color white one to go with the other Chaparrals. It's a '66 kit. Been doing a bunch of
a nice looking car for the day. That was a great model.
Yeah, congratulations on all your hangouts, Rusty.
Oh, thanks, Pat. Thanks for coming in and joining us.
Especially all the stuff you've been through recently, and switching to this new hangout. I mean, a lot of the plastic model guys, they just don't like it, and they want to use Google. And if you go back and use Google, you can see how bad the picture and the sound was, and I don't know. But
it got worse and worse as it went along. I think it was just overloaded or something.
Degrading it or something.
But this one hadn't been without some hiccups.
Oh yeah,
but
there's
it went
things
pretty well.
I've been watching, and I'm just amazed that you guys figured it out and you got it all going. Like when it cuts you off on the live, and you want to
You
go
don't
more
put this
than
on your car.
Well,
I'm
after
gonna
200
switch
shows, you
screens.
better
I
have
got
it right.
Trey and now holding up. Oh, blinky winkies. Trey and got blinky winkies.
No, he's doing that because he's going to be psyching out all the other competitors. They're going to be looking at his blinking lights and everything like that. Tell him that he's hypnotizing the judges to give them
Yeah,
nothing but big
exactly.
scores.
Yep. And next
That's
thing you know,
exactly it.
Alfararo just chimed in. Middlesex Modelers is what he goes by over on the YouTube, and said lots of guys put Chevy engines in an Opel.
Mhm.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember that.
Actually,
Opel Kadett.
this is a little portion of the code, because I wanted to do this before it launches, and then I go to solid for 2 seconds, and then the motor starts. So
Okay.
it's like a sequence. It starts blinking 5 seconds like this. When you have with 5 seconds to go, boom, 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 boom. Then 2 seconds to go, it goes solid. And when the motor starts, they shut down. So whatever.
Okay. I am so boring. I even shouted. I don't even hit my own start button. I yell at my pit man to do that. So anyhow, hey, you guys talking about big engines and everything like that. One thing, different track. Again, another thing I've been kind of interested in. There's a lot of people take like the old sixes. You know, the Dodge Slant sixes and the Chevy and the Ford sixes from the Falcon, and you know, stuff like that. And it's amazing to me the way they build those up, and they turn those into some pretty nasty engines. You know, little 200 inline six, you wouldn't get out of its own way, and they turn those into monsters.
They're solid iron, and they got a hell of a thick, wide water jacket on them, and so you can punish the metal with some modern engine management equipment, and they're badass.
That's it. They'll take a hell of a beating, and the sixes, I guess, are naturally torquey and everything like that. So they keep the low end, the low end stuff. So
too. They just slick as ice when they run.
Yeah, a friend of mine was dirt tracking, and they have a class for them 6-cylinders. And them things really go. And his wife was racing a 6 against 8 and beat about half of it. Because they're a lot lighter and they can balance the car better or something. But yeah, they put a lot of horsepower and they really wind them up.
Did you ever see how they build the Bentley V12?
No, what's it like? What's it made out of?
On each side, the 6 cylinders are like this. They're like next to each other, and then there's the same on the other side. And the cylinder heads are really wide. So you have a piston here and a piston up. Where am I looking? I don't know which camera I'm on. I'm trying to use my other camera.
Okay. Yeah, you're looking at the right one now.
Switch to the other one.
Okay. So you're saying the cylinder banks are like parallel to each other rather than being in a V?
You'd have 3 and 3 on the other side, but on one side you have your 3 cylinders. I'm trying to keep my fingers flat. Let's say it's 4. And then the other 4 are like right next to those. So it's a real wide surface. The head is very wide. You have, there was a YouTube video that shows the assembly plant making it. And honestly,
well, they're both
it's a shorter engine. It's wider.
Some sort of a V formation, right?
Yeah, it's shorter, but it's wider because of the way they do it. But all those connect to the crank, and I guess you ought to get something like that for what they cost, you know.
Well, that's kind of how they did the old radial engines. They just put them so that
get all those connecting rods going to the.
And they designed all those radial engines without CAD.
that big piece that all the rods tied to make that happen.
But yeah, I mean, I seen that one there in Ohio at that one place they had that Corsair radial engine, and they were just kind of wound going backwards. So some of the cylinders were behind the others, and they could hook them up to the crank that way. They run a lot more power.
Were they in a spiral?
Yeah, it was a spiral, and they went backwards as they went. I think there was 4 banks of them.
Wow.
The reason they did that, Steve, is so they could run a knuckled rod. They could put more rods on their crank journal.
Yeah, that's what they said. Instead of having everything hooked in one, it went back so they could hook the rods to the crank different.
Yeah, there was like 4 mains, and there were like 4 rods connected together on each journal. But the center was just one giant journal.
Oh, okay.
We're talking
I'm not
aircraft.
sure how.
Yeah.
Yeah, that big.
Have you ever seen a
radio.
corn cob engine?
That's what they're talking about.
Is that what it is? Okay, that's what made me think of that.
Corn cob is what they used in the Spruce Goose.
Oh no shit! I didn't know that.
It's like a V12, but there's 2 up and 2 down.
Yeah.
And as they come back, they roll. And they do those for the same reason, because they can connect 2 rods together. Like one journal has a split and the other fits into it. Like a Harley.
Yes, I am.
We lost Dennis.
Oh, is he gone? I was just typing to Al. He just did us with a super chat.
Hello, Al.
Dennis will be back unless he left on purpose, which I doubt. I got to step away for just a second. I'll be right back.
Let's see you dance out of the room, Rusty. Let's see you dance a 2-step out of the room. Shows how good you're doing.
I'm doing it like Mr. Peanut with my cane.
You got up pretty fast there.
All right, let's make fun of Rusty right now because he's not here.
There you go.
You're bouncing around pretty good there.
There's Dennis. He's back.
Cheyenne, here's
I
an
didn't realize you got a Michigan shirt on.
Well, Detroit anyway, right?
Detroit?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see the.
Yeah, it's the state of Michigan superimposed on the old English D.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I bought it. I thought it was a monogram. It was my name, Dennis, right? D.
Yeah.
I mean, same thing. I go up to the city and go to a ball game there, and everybody's wearing. They're so happy to see me. They're all wearing shirts and hats that got a big D on them. So.
Lions fan.
Hey, I'm so vain. Of course, that song was about me. So.
I was saying, have you talked to anybody about this?
Yeah, that's it. Trademark infringement or something. Cool. All right. Nah.
I'm back. Y'all quit making fun of me now. Trey.
Oh, yeah.
You motor around pretty good, Rusty.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Yeah, I'm getting around really well.
Hey, as you're settling in here, just a quick question. When we first started tonight, when everybody's got their own little box, you got main screen, all the little boxes, and somewhere along the line, all the boxes turned black. There's no pictures in them. I got a main screen, but all the little boxes are all blacked out. Is that something I can do to change that, or is that something you did, or how's that work?
What do you think I did? Are the boxes there, but they're just black, or they just disappeared altogether?
No, the boxes are all there, and if I point on them, they got their name, and I can tell who's talking. The blue symbol comes up, all that, and everybody's name's on the boxes if I touch the box. But I had pictures when we first started.
That's a glitch on your end.
Yeah.
Is that on my side?
I think
Okay.
that's just a glitch on your end.
Could be.
Okay.
I
You
still,
can try hitting the refresh button, but that's always risky when you're in live.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it. I'm okay.
Yeah.
You gotta,
All right, so I
you
saw an
gotta
L
real
there. I
quick-
was just wondering if that means Lenny's going to
Let's
join us
see
here.
what
Yeah.
it looks like. I've got one trick I can try. See what happens when I do this.
It says you have a good connection, Dennis. When
Yeah.
I click on you.
Yeah,
That
my
way we
connection.
can see everybody. How you like it that way?
Yeah, well, again, I got. I'm sorry, I got Pat's the only one that I can see right now. Everybody else is a black
Oh,
box.
really?
That's
Yeah.
weird.
I don't know.
That's it. He's still got his flying chaparral there. So
Yeah.
pieces of chaparral,
The
I
whatever.
only
think it's,
trouble with
it's
this
saving you
view,
the hassle of looking at my ugly face.
I like this view, except the thing is when people are watching it on a 4-inch YouTube screen, then
Yeah.
nobody can tell who's talking or anything. So
Yeah.
Rusty, you can try real quick the little circle in your Chrome browser there that reloads. Get that little circle with the arrow. Not you. but-
yeah, that's what I was talking about, refreshing.
Yeah. Right.
That'll probably fix it.
Yeah. Sometimes we got to do that. Some nights Jitsi seems to have problems, but most of the time it's flawless if you got a good connection and modem and router.
This is the most people I've ever had on one video screen at the same time too.
Yeah,
And so
I've been hoping to
it
get
might be a
one.
little much. It might be a little much for some people. Yeah, I just saw Denny check out and check back in. So let's see if he successfully. Here he comes.
Well, it's Len.
Oh, Leonard.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah,
Join
Denny,
me.
too.
All right, you got me now.
No, you're
I got your.
Oh, you can
Yeah.
hear me now, but my camera is down now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
all I
geez.
see is black. Yeah.
Well, I can see all of you guys, so
Fixed part of the problem.
we
Yeah,
can hear
that's
you.
it.
That's the way. That's the
I'm
way
very
Bob
much- I'm-
Hunt was. He was just
Yeah,
blackout.
Either
I think I'm at to be. I can see all you guys, so I'm at to be careful what you wish for stage. So
Oh my
If
god.
you'll just hang on a second, I bet your video picture will appear. But
Yeah.
I can't promise.
you just
this
got to decide if you
participant
wanna
has stopped
see
the
us
camera.
or you want us to see you.
That's it. Well, heck, this would be. Well, you can still see my name. I was going to say I could be a real submarine here, if. Start, stop camera. Oh,
Hey,
you go.
you're back. Can you see us?
There you go.
yeah, I can still see you too. Oh, aren't we? Isn't life wonderful? Aren't we all
Lucky
so
you,
lucky?
Dennis. Lucky
Lucky
you.
Hey, that's it. Have a
What did you have to
cracker to
do?
celebrate.
What did you have to do to turn your camera back on? Go to
Well, it was
settings?
just found the 3 box on the bottom of the center screen. I had
Yeah.
had mute, unmute, and oh my God, now we got
Good
Lenny.
luck,
Leonard's got a
But oh my God, now we got
Oh,
Lenny.
there he is. Yeah.
Oh jeez.
loud
Yeah.
yellow.
There
Can we
goes
change this to
neighborhood.
straight? Can we change this to straight audio channel or something like that?
I can.
Hey,
probably-
Lenny, how the heck are you?
Yeah, we can have a podcast.
Somehow he sneaks into the country to go to Brodak. Now he can sneak into our damn.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Man, it's been too long, Len. How you been doing? Uh-oh. Len, your microphone's off.
Yeah, it shows he's muted.
Yeah. You're showing up as muted, Len. You're on mute. Look in the bottom of the screen in the center.
Turn it up.
Oh, now he's off.
He's gonna try.
I scared him
Oh
off.
no. We just lose him completely?
Yeah, he'll
Ah.
come back on again. He probably can't sleep. So Here he comes.
All right, he's muted and picture off. Oh, well.
He'll get on here. He'll figure it out sooner or later.
Yeah.
Hear me?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm about to sit here and go sleep, so I'm going to call it a night, boys.
Okay,
All right.
Tim, thanks for coming, man. I appreciate it. Yeah,
You bet.
That's a cool
you and
sign.
everybody else.
Yeah.
Again.
That's a cool
Thank you.
sign.
Yeah. All the best, everybody.
Happy 200 right
Yeah, you'll have to mail that to Rusty, and he can stick it on his wall back there with his other trophy.
I'll put that on my
Okay,
trophy
I might
rack, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Put
All
her on
right,
the wall
you
there
guys
next to the
take care.
trophies. Take care.
There you
Take
go.
care.
All right, Tim, take it easy, man.
Bye-bye.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Hey, we can hear you. We can't see you. That's a good thing.
Well, can you hear
Tim's
me?
a cool dude.
Yeah.
I'm glad he came in
Awesome.
tonight.
It
You don't
says the
wanna-
yellow shirt was too
No,
bright.
you don't want to see.
We take it you couldn't sleep, so you want us to put you to sleep tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, something happened. Now we can't even hear him. He's
I
gone
think
again.
he's gone completely. Yeah.
Probably too much snow on the lines.
Yeah. The electrons are freezing up there around Toronto, I guess. So
hasn't this been fun though, Dennis? To get you back on again, and
yeah, that's it. I've been meaning to check in and stuff. Like I said, I just haven't been doing any modeling, and it's like, I'm just kind of taking up space here. So
we asked you all kinds of other questions.
yeah, but then I just got a bullshit. So
Oh well, that's all we do here anyway.
oh, you mean there isn't a fact checker or something like that?
You know,
No,
No, afraid
Rusty
not.
hasn't put
I'm
that
not
on
a
yet.
fact checker.
Oh, okay.
Are you on
Well,
now, Leonard? Can you hear us?
Hey,
Yep.
Len, can you hear us
You hear
now?
me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes.
We can hear you and we can see you.
Amazing.
Good stuff. But it keeps
All
kicking out though. I don't know why. But I
Oh,
just
I
keep
got
coming
it.
back in. I won't go away easy.
Yeah, we were just
Sure.
wondering if you couldn't sleep and you wanted us to put you to sleep again tonight.
Give it your best shot.
Oh, well.
Good luck.
We
I
never
don't feel
gonna let you
tired
forget
tonight.
that. We're not
Oh,
gonna
I
let you
know.
forget
I was
that.
bad. I don't know. I have more energy now.
Oh, he's gone.
Ah, he's gone again.
That happens
Oh,
to
man.
him all the time. Every night he pops in and out like that.
Oh, well.
Has to be something with his internet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
There's still a lot of routers in use, including the one I had. It would work, but it wasn't as stable as the latest one.
Yeah.
Not necessarily
Routers,
faster, it's the way they handle the data. And
in my experience, routers wear out too.
yeah.
Yeah.
How about Wi-Fi's? Is that a router or?
Actually, I meant the modem, but same thing. The technology may not be something faster, but to make sure you're getting what you're paying for through your provider, make sure your stuff, if they're not providing it, make sure you got something good enough to handle what you're paying for.
Yeah, my modem and my router are built into one box now.
Is that what this thing is?
Yeah.
Hang on, let me click on it. That looks like a. Hang on, Steve, while I get the picture out. That's a router. Yeah. The antennas for Wi-Fi and the cables are for the hardwired.
Yeah, because
My
I've been
router
wondering.
and my modem are both wired into the same box. They come from Spectrum.
That's my own, and Samantha picked it out, but I don't know how many years ago. But my TV won't pick anything up in the basement anymore, and I'm wondering if this is getting weak or something has changed. And
Yeah, it's things get old. Things stop working when things get old. Just like your phone, all of a sudden YouTube won't work because it won't take any more updates because It progressed to a point that that phone doesn't understand.
Yeah, it's obsolete now. Yeah, it wouldn't hurt to get a new one, Steve. They're not expensive.
Look at the numbers on your label, and then look at when you look for a new one, and you'll see. Do a little internet search. I looked real quick, and there's 3 versions now at the same, like it's called DOCSIS 3.0. And until you get to the 1,000 megabyte one, there was 3 levels that I had missed. So I went and got a new modem because I let mine get way too old, and it still works for your daily stuff. But you try these Hangouts, and Jitsi is very demanding because it's high def audio, high def video, and it handles.
Yeah, these Hangout shows are pretty demanding on your system resources.
Yeah, my computer somehow, from the cable modem, I guess, or whatever that is that the cable people put in.
Yeah, that's first.
That hooks directly into my computer, and it's fast and works good. It's just everything else in the house.
Anything that goes through that antenna is a little slower.
Oh, okay.
All I know is if you want everything to work good all the time, just go with Apple. It might cost a little more to start up.
I've been happy with mine. I was afraid, but my last computer, I got the iMac 5 years ago, and it was ever since day one, it's flawless.
Well, we changed over just because Samantha had the iPhone 6 or whatever, and they kept slowing it down and slowing it down and slowing it down to where you had to buy a new one. And I'm like, that's bullshit. Paid $600 and some for the damn thing, and they slowed it down. Well, they got sued, and they said that they don't do that anymore. But we went all the Android now, so I ain't gonna change back.
There's something that was just in the news on AT&T. Supposed to be reimbursing everybody that was throttled back like that. But that's AT&T, not the phone.
Now I just got a Google Pixel phone.
How do you like it?
I love the damn thing. And being a Google phone, it's got the newer Android that no one else can get. Samantha was playing with it today and about how good it is and the pictures and stuff you can do with all that. But yeah, I really like that. And it's just the cheapest Pixel you can get, the 3A. But it works so much better than the $700 Motorola phone Work gave me.
My past 2 phones have been LGs, a G4 and now I got a G6, and it's 2 years old, and the contract has expired, so I can probably get a good deal on whatever the newest best thing is now. I've heard the Plus One is pretty good. Is that? I think that's the Google too.
Like on this new phone I just got, the battery's not replaceable, so
What one is that?
No battery lasts forever. A lot of the new smartphones, look on the internet, there's actually a kit. And they have an edge heater, and it comes with like 4 or 5 guitar picks to start opening the sides. It's called a battery replacement kit. Well, you got to be kidding me. It's like $30-40. You got a little edge heater that heats the glue that's holding it shut.
Right.
Put these guitar picks in there. I don't know, a couple other things come in the kit. Or you take it to the shop, and the expert does it for you. But no battery lasts forever.
It's a pain in the ass to do that. Those little plastic picks are called spudges in the industry, by the way.
Yeah, so I like the new phone, but I know that Motorola is bought by oh shit, it's a Chinese company. I can't think of the name of it now. But my phone is 2 years old, and it's doing the same thing the last one did. It'll shut the ringer off, and you got to turn the phone off, turn it back on, and the damn thing will ring again. Or sometimes it shuts off. You can't make a phone call. Shut it down, reboot it. It works, and that's what the last one did. And it's so funny is that right when the contract's up and they can get a new phone at work, however that worked out.
Yeah, they
squeeze
you out with nuisance. They squeeze you out with nuisance stuff like that.
But
I'm
yeah,
gonna wait for mine.
we'll see what this Google phone does. But I mean, for as cheap as it is, how fast it is, and how the reception and all that, it has a good antenna in it. I really like it. I never thought I'd spend $400 on a damn cell phone, but
Oh, that's cheap.
yeah, I know it. Well, that's cheap, but it's expensive to me. It's like at work they buy the ones for $700-800, and they last 2 years. And it's like I ain't paying that for a damn phone that lasts 2 years.
Yeah, mine was an old iPhone 7, and the only reason I had to change it out because I dropped a piece of steel tube on it and broke the screen.
Oh, okay.
So I had to change it out, and I had the insurance, so I just got a replacement for $100. But the original phone cost me like $700-800.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Now you go buy a new iPhone 11, a new one that's out.
It's over
I
a
think the
grand.
iPhone 11 Pro is like $1,400.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I'd rather have 2 road jets.
I got 25 Fox 35.
Nah, I think I'm going to hang on to those because they're not making any more of them. I figure I better
Damn.
hang on to them. But
I want
thanks
everyone
anyway,
to
Jeff.
get my- What?
I said thanks anyway for the offer, but I think I'm going to hang on to them. They're not making any more.
Yeah, no worries. I don't blame you for keeping them.
Yeah, I haven't got that many, so
Hell,
I'm going to use them. And what's that?
The only thing they're making anymore is road jets.
You betcha. And PA,
That or
yeah,
LA,
nope.
I guess LA-25 you can convert, but besides that, there ain't nothing else.
Stalkers. Well, there's stalkers.
Oh, that's right, stalkers. Yeah.
And the Kaz 77.
Yeah, stalker.
Isn't Brodak Sue?
I'm sorry, yeah, Brodax.
Yeah, if they can get them. I don't know how often they're making them anymore, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then Eric Rule at RSM has a bunch of stuff that's like, I guess it's overstock. But he's got a few motors. He's got a couple of Tigers. He's out of stock on Fox 35s. But he's got a couple of Tigers. He's got a couple of PAs, and he's got some other stuff.
No, probably
There's
is.
always,
It's
there's
probably
always
just
McCall
bad.
if you can get an older engine.
So one of my favorite
What's that?
engines right now is the Stalker 51. I mean that thing
Good
runs
engine.
really well.
Good engine. I run Stalkers, you know.
Well, everybody here has been running Stalkers, but I don't know. There's something about that 51 that runs so nice, and it'll pull a big airplane.
Oh, yeah.
John Paris proved that.
Hey, how y'all like my new?
Yeah.
Let me click on me. How y'all like my new tools I picked up the other day? I can't see anything but black when I click on my picture. Can y'all see me?
Magnet.
I can see
I
ya.
see you.
Yeah.
What is it?
Telescope, and I got one
Telescope.
for 20 pounds and one for 8 pounds. And they're mainly like you can pick up wrenches, or if you drop a hammer, you can pick up a
That's
pound
awesome.
hammer with
Serious.
this.
Those are serious magnets.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well,
I got
hey,
them at Tractor Supply.
whatever you do, Rusty,
wow.
don't put them in your pockets. You won't be able to get them back out. They'll be stuck to your hip.
Yeah, I don't think titanium is a federal. But
You're-
yeah, that's cool.
Steve,
If
you're
I were
bad.
you, I'd mute him. So,
Yeah, get rid of him. We don't need him. Make him
yeah,
go
put him on
away.
mute for a while. Let him chew on
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Put Steve on mute for a while after that one.
Yeah.
They telescope out pretty long too, though. You drop a freaking hammer, you can pick it up with that sucker.
Hey,
You
Rusty,
said that
see
was
if you can.
That was
Hey,
Tractor
Rusty, see
Supply had that?
What'd you say?
You said you got those at Tractor Supply?
Yeah, for about
I have
$8.
to check that out.
I got a pair of them, and yeah, they say this one will pick up 20 pounds, and the little one will pick up 8 pounds.
That does look like a neat idea.
Yeah,
I bought, this is, I bought one that it was smaller, but it's supposed to have some kind of super magnet on it.
neodymium probably.
And it really did stick really good. So I have it in my tool bag and drop a screw down, and I'm reaching down to try to get it, and I go whack and stick.
Yeah, it sticks to everything on the way to what your target is.
I couldn't get the damn thing down to where I had to go because it got
stuck to everything else.
The magnet was so strong, it would put this. I had to go get an old weak one to get down in there deep enough to get the thing out.
Yeah, I got a bunch of little ones too. I keep them stuck all over the place and keep them in my toolbox. But when you drop a screw in the grass at the flying field, that's the only thing that'll save you is the search for your screw with it if you know about where it hit the ground. Don't get it near your freaking telephone though.
Yeah.
And don't use stainless screws.
Yeah, really.
And don't let it anywhere near your brand new accelerometer timer either. So
no, I mean these things will ruin. There's a lot of stuff these things will ruin.
no, I said that for Trian's benefit there. So I'm sure he doesn't have any of those in his workshop, do you?
You could always walk up behind your nemesis at the restaurant and
Funny.
hold that thing up to his pocket and screw up his credit cards too.
Hey, y'all like my Uncle Henry pocket knife there. That's my favorite. That's my favorite kind of knife. I like the small ones, but that's my favorite of all, is with the staghorn handle. Actually, I think it's fake staghorn, but I think they look cool. It's made by Schrade.
Good for carving top blocks.
Just in case you want to build a Nobler.
Yeah, exactly. In case you want to build one of those Brodak Noblers with 5 pounds of wood, and 3 pounds on the floor.
My screen's not switching pictures very well lately. I think it's overloaded.
Could be. Looks like we got 9 windows here. That's a lot of switching.
Yeah.
I just got everybody on a fixed. I got a 3x3 matrix right now, and frankly, it looks more stable than anything I've had all night. So
it does. That's the best way to watch on your end, but on my end, I can't do it because it makes YouTube look like that, and on the little 4-inch YouTube screen, it kind of makes it hard to watch for the rerun watch.
Good point.
Mine's working good now that I shut my camera down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's working better for us too, Lon. Don't mute me, Rusty.
Payback's gonna be a bugger, Steve.
That's it.
We got a bunch of mean people in here now.
Middle of June, Father's Day weekend, Pennsylvania. Steve, he's going to own your ass. That's all there is to it. So.
I got the magnets. I'll suck everything out of
the He'll reprogram all your electrics and whatever else. So.
Just don't stick it up by my head because I can't remember nothing now. So
all right. Oh boy.
Yeah, I got a bit rate warning now. I got a poor signal between Jitsi and YouTube.
My cousin posted a picture of this older guy looking at a stairway, going upstairs, and it's got this little bubble up there. And it says, okay, was I going upstairs to get something, or did I just come downstairs from getting something?
Yeah, that sounds like me some days.
Yeah. Been there, done that, I think.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Oh, boy.
How's Naomi doing?
Naomi's doing well. She's sleeping right now.
Why'd you have her out shoveling the driveway? She's tired or what?
No, actually, I went out and shoveled the driveway. She stayed in.
Oh, okay.
I came home from work. She made a real nice dinner, so I had dinner and then I went out and shoveled.
All right. But give her a hug for me and tell her I said hi, all right?
Will do. Most definitely.
So
Tell her at least we miss her from Canada.
Oh, I'm not telling her that. She'll leave me home next year.
you mean that's all it would take?
It wouldn't take much.
Oh, now Dennis gets muted.
Hey,
that's my turn. So
the last flying session we had here at the Beanfield, she went without me. I had to go to work, and she took all the tools in her airplane over to the field and flew by herself.
Oh, wow.
That's
she doesn't
great.
shows me she doesn't need me. She can fly anytime she wants now.
All right.
That's a good thing now that she doesn't have to have you there. You know, more likely she
That's
would.
right. She knows exactly what to put in the car and what she needs and to remember all the stuff, and away she goes. She has her own toolbox.
Just thought popped in my head here. Last summer we were talking about it. Did you, Naomi, or anybody up there, did you guys ever end up trying the Spectra lines we talked about?
We haven't tried them. I have a roll. I bought a roll, but I never got around to trying it.
Okay.
Every time I went to try it, something came up and it just got crazy. But I will try them. Definitely.
You'll love them.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you had asked me, Dennis, to look into getting us all together some information on that stuff, but that's when I got sick and never followed up on it. And I don't even remember what it was you had asked me to do now, but it was about the rules and everything. Mike Leinke had given us a primer on the Spectra lines, and I was going to follow up on it, but never was able to do it.
Yeah. Now they had a discussion going on late summer, early fall here. Cut to the chase. Pampa Group was talking about for the non-rule book events, you know, the unofficial events, if you will, profile, classic, NOS 30, even old time and stuff like. None of those are rule book events, so we don't necessarily have to be beholden to the Pampa stunt rules.
Right, the contest.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, the full contest rules. And since Spectra is already in the general rule book section, there was no loss of anything to say, okay, for these non-rule book events, let's use lines only, let's use the general section to tell us, you know, what we can use, including, you know, appropriate sizes of Spectra.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a neat little touch. They haven't made a lot of noise about it yet. I'm not sure exactly, you know, how they're going to do that. But it would be a big enabler, you know, for organizers of contests and stuff like that. Say, you know, hey, you know, Spectra lines per general rule book, which is basically what they did at Brodac last year. So, and
we've never had a failure yet on them, Dennis, and we use them all the time. I mean, I got a set that's been in 3 airplane crashes and it didn't hurt them.
Well, you know, the combat guys got all the experience with it. They put their lines through a heck of a lot more of abuse than we do. And, you know, they got like, what, 10, I think they're going on 12 years experience now. So we're not talking about cutting edge here. You know, we're just talking about, you know, getting with the program. So,
well, one thing Dick found out is that he made up a thing with weights for, that'll pull 100 or something, but they're good to like 60 pounds each or whatever. So he has a thing where he pulls them to 120 pounds right from the get go, and it takes all the threads and really gets them in tight, and it takes all the stretch out of them and stuff like that. And
yeah, I know. I remember Dick talked about that. Said it was a good idea to pre-stretch them, or, you know, or put a load on them, and they got even more positive that way.
So, well, yeah, and 120 pounds. I mean, it's so much more than a pull test will ever be.
Yeah, that's it.
So I got a question, guys. How do you tie them to your lead outs? Do you put them on, do you just tie them to clips and then use clips, or do you tie them right to the lead out, or what do you do?
Dick does clips.
Okay.
You can
Like
tie
that's
it
what I would
directly
like to do.
Yeah, you can tie it directly to the line clip, or depending on if you use the AMA knot, which is actually it's actually kind of a slip knot. You can actually tie them to regular eyelets. It's
Okay.
kind of a pain in the behind to do that, but you can do that, and then they handle just like regular lines as far as hard point handles, changing out line clips and stuff.
I would just as soon tie them to clips and use them the way I would normally use a set of lines.
Yeah, and then the other way, the way the combat guys use them a lot is they use that other knot, the one that's an open loop, that surgeon's knot, and they tie the end in a loop that it's stable. It's not a slip knot kind of thing, and you can actually use that with interchangeable clips for a hard point handle or something like that.
Okay.
So there's like 3 different ways to get, but yeah, tying them directly to clips is fine. You can tie them even on something the size of a line clip, and they don't kink or anything like that, even though it's a very tight diameter. Yeah.
I was told it's illegal to clip to a clip. Is that true?
Yeah, you can't put a clip to a clip.
Right.
Why is that?
I think there's just I don't know, it's just been a rule like that because I guess they didn't want people using things like hard point handles way back when, but I don't know.
Well, what it was is that we took them like I guess a Hello Kitty. It's it has a little round bottom, then it comes up bigger at the top, and you pinch them. You got some real small ones, and they're so stiff you got to use a pair of damn needle nose pliers to pinch them.
Mm-hmm.
We used them like that little brass thing that they put lines around. Basically tied it to that, and then we'd hook our clip through it, and they said that you can't do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I really don't understand why. If you can use an eyelet, if you can tie it to an eyelet, that's just like a clip.
Yeah, but it's got a lead out going through it.
Yeah, I think my rationalization, I guess, and I don't know, this is what they thought of or thinking at AMA when they wrote the rules, is my rationalization is that they saw the line clip as being a weak point, a failure point, something, if it isn't closed properly, it can fail and things like that. And they wanted to minimize or eliminate failure points as much, wherever they could. And so, that's pure speculation on my part. I don't know if that was the logic or anything like that, but I perceived it was something like that.
Well, what we found out was it was a whole lot easier tying it to a little small clip than it was trying to tie it to an eyelet.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is, if you tied it to a solid ring, that's no problem.
Oh, okay. So we just have to find.
Yeah, but if the ring is solid, doesn't open up,
Oh, okay.
If it's a clip that opens up, then I think that's where the problem is.
Oh, all
so
right.
Now my problem is I haven't been able to find any little tiny steel rings, that are continuous or welded or whatever like that.
I had
find
some
split rings and stuff
from the fishing store once, but I've not been able to find them again. But they were completely seamless rings, and
they weren't split rings, right?
Right,
not split rings,
and they were about 3/32, I think, in diameter. Not in diameter, but the thickness of the ring. I used them on half A.
But that was the reason why we were tying them on them little small clips, and the damn things, were huge. You can't even pinch the damn things. But yeah, I'll have to look for some rings in, because it makes trying to tie it on an eyelet is real tough.
Yeah, but I made my first set like that, and quite by accident, they turned out within a 16th of an inch on line length and everything else. And I can't look you in the eye and tell you I did it on purpose, because the knot the knot in the AMA book is hard to tie to an exact point. But they turned out that way, and I've got a set of 60-foot. What are they? 60-pound tests, 60-foot lines that I can use with hard point handles. So. Hey, Rusty, can you focus on me a second? Here's something you might get a kick out of.
Yeah.
This up. I just picked this up on eBay recently.
You really
recognize that?
It's still picking your picture up. Hang on.
You really.
There we go. Now, oh wow!
But I don't know what they did.
Yeah, it's I think they sold it with the Cox Comanche, the 15 size, ready to fly. Yeah. And it's a set, the idea, of course, is that you could reel the lines right in individually, or, they're together. And you reel them out wherever you want them, and so you can adjust the line spacing and stuff.
Nice.
And I thought this thing with a set of Spectra lines might be just something to make people grind a little bit. Like that, oh my God, look at that big heavy handle and everything. Yeah, man, So
that's sort of like a modern version of the Jim Walker You Really, isn't it?
Yeah, it kind of is, except unlike the You Really, it doesn't stick out over the end real far.
Yeah.
The You Really's were kind of big and clunky.
Yeah,
the
that
weight,
was a fudge.
Yeah, the extra weight, if you will, is like right under your hand, so it's not the same as having it like out here. Right.
What it has a little pin to adjust your line spacing?
You do it kind of, man. You see you see the multiple holes there in the front. Oops,
yeah.
Let me bring that right. So you can get down to, I guess, I'd call it about a 2-inch spacing out to probably a 3.5 or so, which with half A size bell cranks and stuff is probably pretty reasonable.
Oh yeah.
Is there a little fine adjustment on it for just a
line adjustment,
an inch or so at a time?
Well, you can see, for the line spacing, you can see it's not real fine.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's like about 3/8 of an inch between holes.
Yeah.
So it's like 3/4 of an inch total. And then the lines are, for line length, are individually adjustable, sort of. They're adjustable, I'd say, to about a 1/4 inch increment.
Oh,
okay.
That's good. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, which, on a half A size, if you're off and you move it a 1/4 inch, you're going to be way off the other way. But to me, it would seem that you'd still want to have something like, an extra, do your fine tuning with line clips or something like that.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I just thought this would be a cool thing. It would be really cool, and I'm not sure how to do it, how to mark the lines, but it would be cool to reel them out for, say, 35 feet. To fly something, and 40 feet to fly something else, and 50 feet to fly something else, and stuff like that. And I could be the envy of all my friends with that. So
no kidding, I like that. I kind of want one of those.
Well, start out at 20 feet, feed it out, fly it at 60, and then bring it back in before the flight's over.
Yeah. Well, actually, I have this thing. I have this thing in my. It is not friendly for doing that. It actually has a locking clip and stuff like that. But the old Jim Walker, I guess you could do that. You could fly it very short, and then it had like a button on top that you could just keep paying line out.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the flight, you could literally reel it in. So
it just keeps on going and.
Yeah.
What was it? What did they call that handle, Dennis?
It was well,
Thimble
you can
drone.
see it's the brand name is right there, Thimble Drone. It was the old Cox banner name, and I think
cool.
They called it Sky something. I have to look it up again.
I've never seen one of them before. That is too cool.
Yeah. I like that.
The thing that surprised me, actually, I actually found an instruction sheet for the airplane. One of those things you find, on the internet, and in it is this is how you set up your lines, and the instructions show the handle being held with the reel on the bottom. And I would have sworn, when I first saw them, I would have sworn that would, the reel would have been on top, but that's not the way they showed it. So
Yeah, that would be the naturally way that I would have guessed too.
What, with the reel on top or on the bottom?
On top.
Yeah, it just seems natural. It seems more natural that way, but I don't know. So, if you're a big fan and you really like handles and stuff like that, this probably isn't for you. But as far as having just a neat, tidy little package and little, blast from the past and stuff like that, I'm thinking I'm gonna have some fun with that.
Well, the way that Rusty flies, it would be the right way then. If it was poking up. Because he flies it backwards.
He flies backwards?
I fly with the handle backwards, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. The up line is by my pinky and the down line is by my thumb.
Oh.
Really? How do you do that?
Sideways.
That's wild.
I do it with an overhand. Hang on, let me unclick on Denny. But I fly it like this, and this is up, and this is down. And if that translates to normal holding, that's down, and this is up. So I do not hold it like that. I hold it overhanded or kind of halfway. But yeah, it's up and down, up, down. It's just the way I fly.
A lot of guys got into that.
My dad taught me how to hold the handle, and I never read the instructions when I was 12 years old. And I got my first Stuka, and he's the one that showed me how to hold the handle. I thought he knew what he was talking about. He claimed to have flown Control Line when he was a kid, but I never actually saw him do it. So whether or not he knew how to fly one, I don't know. But he taught me how to fly.
A lot of guys got into that from the old illustration on the Sterling box for the Ringmaster. Shows the guy holding his arm stretched out like this, flying the airplane.
For inverted flight, yeah.
We had a couple guys in our club that taught themselves to fly, and they flew just like you do, Rusty.
Yeah, I don't roll my hand over when I'm inverted either. I fly this way, upright and inverted.
Well, that was awesome. I always flew up from the side with my arm because that was the way the Cox thing showed that picture, where they showed up and their elbows in towards the side. I still do that, and I have a hard time. I'll be flying along, and next thing you know, my arm's down to hooked into my side, and I'm going up and down with my arm and not following the airplane or whatever.
I used to fly half A with my hand held down almost at the level of my belt, and just flying way down there. But when I got into stunt, I realized I needed to be following the plane around.
Yeah.
And so I took to moving my arm to follow the plane.
I think it's amazing that you learned how to fly stunt doing your hand going the opposite way. I think that's amazing.
Well, it's just felt natural, I mean, it's just.
And if you got used to it, so you just keep doing it. Yeah.
I've had people tell me I couldn't possibly fly like that without crashing. I've had people say that's a good way to put one into the ground, but I mean, yeah, I crashed my fair amount of planes, but it ain't because of the way I hold the handle.
Like I see a lot of guys flying inverted with their hand tilted to the side, but not the way you would think, the opposite way.
Yeah.
And that's just freaky to me. It's like, how do you do that and keep it steady?
That's like Ivan Christensen from Canada. He was there at Brodak and bought a plane from Tom Morris and went out there and flew the whole pattern. He hadn't flown one in like 30 some years, and he flies just like exactly. But he says everyone where he was from there in Canada, that's the way they flew.
I've seen a picture of Igor holding the handle straight out like I was demonstrating.
Yeah, like that. Exactly.
I'm sure the upline is at his thumb and the down line is at its pinky,
Yeah.
unlike the way I do it.
No, Ivan's though was like you do it. And he said that's the way that they flew there in Canada. He learned to fly.
Yeah, like see Pat McKenzie here, he flies that way too when he flies inverted, with the hand tilted the opposite way, and it's like, wow, and he's very good. So it's shocking.
Well, that was always an old deal. If you turned your hand that way and the plane got behind you, it would pull on inverted
Up on the down line, so it would come
Down line.
around. Yeah.
which it ain't gonna
So we
crash.
come
That's
around.
why people did that,
But these guys are doing it with the hand turned the opposite way.
upside down.
Yeah, not like that, the other way.
Oh, like
Yeah, the
Rutherford.
palm,
Yeah, and flying
palm
inverted
down.
like that.
palm
Yeah,
down.
palm down.
Yeah, and guilty as charged. When I first started flying inverted, I did that, and over time trained myself to get the hand upright. But it's amazing even now. If I got an airplane, I'm having a hard time. If it's a handful of fly or something like that, it seems like the reflex is to put my palm down. Lay it over my palm down. So.
Oh no,
But if I put my palm down, I'd be kissing the airplane goodbye. It'd be goners. It's just so neat to watch other people do it. And I mean, Pat McKenzie here, he can fly dead nuts level and fly like that. And apparently Igor Berger does it that way too. Palm down. So you never know. Everybody does it different.
That's it.
Well, I seen Igor when he goes into his wing over. He brings his hand over, so when he comes up and comes around, he doesn't have to turn his wrist. Or is it up? It's upside down. That's what he does. When he comes into it, his hand's upside down, and then he just brings his arm over, and it's normal again.
Right.
But yeah, we watched him do that, So he
I
doesn't
don't think it matters.
get that little flip at the top of the wing over.
Yeah, that makes sense. He comes over the top and then comes out inverted with his hand that way. That's right.
Yeah. So we've seen him do that, but that was so he doesn't get that little flick at the top that a lot of people get. God.
I thought it was only Windy that got that.
Oh, Wendy did that too?
Yeah, he used to have a little kick at the top of his wing over always.
Oh, yeah. Samantha does too. And that's when she turns her wrist. She comes up and then she has to swing it around so that the bottom of her wing is coming down. And she gets that little, if she does it too late or too early or whatever, when she spins her hand.
Yeah, a lot of people do it when they turn their bodies around. So like they face the plane and then turn the body on the other side, and every time you see it on the top, like
yeah,
changes directions.
Just a little bit of a switch.
Yep.
And that's why Igor said he does his upside down. That when you come over, it's perfect.
There's no changing. Yeah, there's no changing. Even at the pullout, you're not moving your hand. You got it just exactly the way you want it. It makes sense.
Samantha we tried her, see if she could do it like that, but she said it was too hard hitting the up. It just, because she moves her arm and her wrist to get that first corner. And she couldn't get to where she pulled back or what, I don't know. So
I hold mine upright when I first hit the up line, but as I start going over, I turn it to the side and go over and come out like Igor does on the other side.
Igor, yeah.
I stand 90 degrees to it so that I don't have to move any, make any turns or anything as I'm going over the top.
Oh yeah, me too. I'll start over here and just go straight over like that, and then come back around and then turn after I'm finished.
Did any of you guys see that video of Orestes doing the wing over and how smooth it was?
Yeah.
There was a video on somewhere, I don't remember, of him doing the wing over at one of the contests down there. And he was so smooth. It was like something I'd never seen before.
A lot of
I
practice.
gotta go, guys.
I've watched David Fitzgerald do it, and he gets into a wide squat. He does it with the wing over, the figure eights, and the cloverleaf exits, the overhead eights and the cloverleaf exits. And what it's just wider than shoulder squat, and comes out behind him, turns his whole torso around to pull out, and doesn't turn his body at all. I mean,
Wow.
he doesn't pivot at all, I should say. He rotates at the hips.
The hips.
Well, he'll never be successful doing that. So.
No.
I gotta go, guys. Mama's calling me.
Okay.
All right. Take
All
it
right,
easy.
take it
See y'all later.
Yep.
You
Bye,
take care, John.
Good
Very nice
night.
seeing you again.
Have a good night.
Thanks for coming.
Lay down. Lay down. Yeah, I can't say goodbye because the dog understands that word and it comes running in here wanting to go outside.
You can wave at us and then turn yourself off if you want to.
Yeah, she's standing right there begging.
I got a new puppy now, or Holly does anyway. She's sleeping in her little kennel cage right here in the den with me.
What kind did you get?
Black.
What kind of dog?
Yeah.
Is a black dog. I don't know. Actually, it acts like it's got some retriever or pointer in it, and it's got terrier-like ears. It's tall and lanky. It's only 4 months old, so it's hard to tell yet. It's got a little white dog bone on its chest, but otherwise completely black. It's a good dog. His name's Crayon.
Spray on?
Crayon,
No,
like
crayon.
you color Crayon.
Oh, okay.
That's his name. Her name.
Russell?
That's
Steve?
a rat terrier.
Okay.
It's got some kind of terrier ears, but it's got a longer nose, not like a bull.
Yeah, this is Samantha's little dog named Indy. Because we went to Indiana to pick her up. But Samantha came over and seen her tonight. And she was so happy. And
Samantha or the dog?
both.
That's awesome. Cute dog.
Yeah, she's smart, but pain in the butt.
Yeah, they are.
No.
Good light stuff going on.
Well, hey, this is past my bedtime too. I'm gonna have to bail out. Rusty, again, thank you so much for 200 tries, man. That's a heck of an accomplishment.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all coming in and helping me commemorate it. And here's to another. I'll salute with my mouse. Here's to another 200 shows. So, there you go. There you go. Thanks, Dennis.
Thanks for all 200 of them, Rusty.
Yeah, really. Well
May
done.
29th, 2017. That was the first show. I went back.
Well, I don't expect to be back until you hit 500. So,
if we need any more show and tell, I'll have Steve call you.
Yeah.
All right.
You guys miss me too much.
No, not that.
I'll show up at his house. We'll sit in chairs next to each other and get on here.
Yeah, that's it. So, all right, everybody. Good seeing it.
All right, guys.
Yeah, take it easy.
Good seeing everybody. You guys take care.
Good night.
All right. Good night.
Good night to you too.
I'm just going to say my goodbyes to everybody, and I appreciate you guys coming and supporting me. The show wouldn't be anything without y'all. And all you YouTubers, thanks for your contributions. Thanks for your conversation, and thanks for just hanging out with us. And all you people that watch the reruns too, which is 99% of everybody. And so I enjoyed it. It's big fun for me, and I'll keep doing it as long as I can. And so until we meet again, fair winds, tight lines, and we'll see y'all later. And
I offended anybody too bad.
Yeah,
You got-
All right.
Good seeing you again.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Good night,
See
Rusty.
you Friday.
See you Friday.
Yep. We'll be here Friday.
Get your homework done so you can get on earlier.